Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. WildMax1 here, bringing another Raid Shadow Legends video. And today we're going to be doing another champion guide on the most recent fusion in Raid Shadow Legends and most recent champ to join my account. A lot of hype for me personally for this one. Talking, of course, about the attack-based Spirit Affinity champion from the Ogryn Tribes faction, Kroz Wallbreaker. Today I'll be breaking down his full kit, I'll be showing you how to build him for maximum damage, and finally we'll be testing him out in the Arena and Doom Tower Heart. So let's jump right in. So Kroz was released in November of 2025 as the Fusion. He is a bomb champion. He's got a nice bomb passive that synergizes well with other bomb champions. He also has good lockdown on his kit, and that makes him effective in both PvE on wave-based content and, of course, in the arena to melt that annoying stone skin. So with that, let's take a look at his kit, see what makes him so special. Starting off with his A1, Pulverizing Pummel. Triple hitter. Each hit has a 30 booking up to 50% chance of decreasing the cooldown of all bombs on the target by 1 turn, and also has a 30 booking up to 50% chance of placing a stun debuff on the target for 1 turn. Now, in terms of the math, having 3 50% shots at decreasing the detonation maths out to 87.5%. Important thing to note about the language of this ability is that you are not going to have a 50% times 3 chance of stunning the target. That only applies to decreasing the detonation countdown of the bombs. The A1 itself has a 50% shot of stunning. Otherwise, it'd be an 87.5% chance of stunning with an A1, which is incredibly broken. So still, even with that, really good A1, and it offers some really interesting potential combos with his own passive, which we'll get into in a second. Moving on now to his A2, Battlefield Sapper. Has a 75 booking up to 100% chance of placing 2 bomb debuffs on each enemy that detonate after 2 turns. Fills Kroz's turn meter by 25% for each enemy with a bomb debuff. 5 turn, booking down to a 4 turn cooldown. So a couple important things to note about this ability. One is he is placing bombs. He's not attacking, and as a result of the attack, he's placing a debuff. He's just placing them, which means that his affinity will not matter. Only thing he needs to worry about is accuracy. As long as he has enough accuracy to land on the target, he will get a bomb debuff on them. The other thing to note is about the turn meter fill. It's not per bomb on each target. It's just as long as he gets a bomb onto a target with this ability, he will then get 25% once this ability resolves from that target. So for example, if he's in Arena, he gets 1 bomb at least on every target. That means he's going to be getting 100% turn meter back at the end of this ability. Another thing to note about that, and we're not really going to dive into this in much detail now, but in Raid Shadow Legends, you can obviously go over 100% turn meter, so this is not a guaranteed extra turn afterwards, but it does get him much closer to his next turn and could potentially push him ahead of other champions with that turn meter boost. Overall, fantastic A2. Looking now at his A3, Mangonel Maul. AoE attack has a 75 booking up to 100% chance of decreasing the detonation cooldown of all bombs by 1 turn. Also has a 100% chance when fully booked of placing block active skills for 2 turns. 4 turn booking down to 3 turn cooldown for this A3. Really good A3. This is his ability that he uses to follow up on his A2 in order to get those detonation cooldowns down to 1 turn, make sure they go off on the enemies as they take their next turn. So ideally, he would be getting an extra turn out of Battlefield Sapper from that turn meter boost. Honestly, it would have been great to see an extra turn here, but I think it would have been a little bit too powerful potentially with the rest of his kit, as we'll see from his passive in a moment. The follow-up from the A2 is this A3. He decreased detonation cooldown, but the nice thing about it is even if there's no bombs up for him to decrease the detonation cooldown of, he can still place block active skills to completely lock out an enemy team. So this is where it becomes that added value in his kit from locking down in wave-based content. So when it comes to Doom Tower or Faction Wars or the Arena, this can still be very powerful even if bombs had been cleansed off in the previous turn. So really good overall on his A3. And finally, let's take a look at his passive, thing that ties the whole kit together, Bomb Breacher. No cooldown on this, fills all allies' turn meter by 5% each time a bomb debuff detonates. That doesn't just have to be bombs that Kroz places, which is one of the reasons why he's so good in synergy with other bomb champions. Second part of his passive, he has a 20% chance of activating an instant turn on himself whenever an ally or enemy is killed by a bomb debuff. Again, synergy, fantastic, but not just with other champions, but with his own kit. So here, I was talking about it with his A1. Nishak, just like Kroz, need to place bombs and then reduce their cooldown so the next time that an enemy takes a turn, those bombs will detonate, they'll get hit by them. But with Kroz, he can actually detonate on his own turn, which means that if he goes in, detonates using that 87.5% chance on his A1, then he could potentially get an instant turn effect on himself, get his A2 and A3 off cooldown faster, and then potentially completely change the flow of a match or of whatever content you might be running. Really powerful, and it's what sets him apart from a lot of other bomb champions. And then finally, taking a look at his aura, we have 30% attack in all battles. Not bad. Would have loved to see speed, though. For total stats, 16.3k HP for an attack-based legendary champion. No problem with that. 1450 attack. I would have liked to see a little bit higher, but honestly, this does not hold him back at all from my testing. 1,000 defense, so between the HP and the defense, he is not the squishiest attack-based legendary. A blisteringly fast 110 speed. That is Marichka, Elva level. That's crazy. That is so good to see. He is such a fast champion, and the rest is pretty standard. So when it comes to stats to prioritize on your Kroz the Wallbreaker, being a bomb-based champion, that's going to be where he's going to be getting his damage. So you do not need to worry about crit rate or crit damage. In order to get any damage off from his bombs, it's all going to be an attack multiplier. So just worry about getting his attack stat sky high. After that, you want to make sure you have enough accuracy to land his bombs and then enough speed in order to be there to go first. You ideally want to be placing the bombs, lowering their cooldown, and watching the enemy just explode on their turns. So attack, speed, accuracy, however much you need for whatever content you're pursuing. So now let's talk about how to build your Kroz with the best possible gear sets in order to get the most damage out of him in both PvE and in the arena. Starting off with PvE. So I think the number one set in PvE is going to be 9 pieces of Feral, if you can pull it off. It's got all the stats you love with accuracy and speed. It's basically like a souped up version of Perception. And then on top of it, the 9-piece bonus specifically is going to be letting your allies deal 5% more damage for every active debuff placed by Kroz. He's got the block active skills, the bombs, the stun. This is going to be really, really effective in whatever content you're going to be bringing him in PvE. If you don't have Feral, as I already said, Perception, really good. It's just going to let you focus more on attack by providing you with speed and accuracy, which are 2 of the only 3 stats that you need in order to make Kroz effective. So Perception, another fantastic set, probably the most accessible to, really, really good. And beyond that, you can go for sets that are going to reduce his ability cooldown. So things like 4 pieces of Merciless going to give him skill cooldown reduction chance. You can go with Reflex, and of course you can go with Relentless. All these are going to be good. They're going to help him cycle through his abilities, giving him more damage. And of course, if you don't have any of that stuff, don't worry about it. Just go for anything that's going to increase any of the stats that he needs, for example, speed. And if you're going to be building your Kroz for the arena, not that different from PvE. My suggestion is still going to be to go for 9-piece Feral. I think this is such a good set on him, giving him, in this case, also a 50% chance to prevent the placement of sheep from polymorph specifically, which he's going to be highly susceptible to because of all the debuffs he has on his kit. So 9 pieces of Feral, so good also in the arena. Aside from that, Pinpoint is another really great set you can put on him. It gives him intercept buffs, so those are also going to help prevent the placement of sheep or opposing crowd control. Pinpoint, another fantastic set, 9 pieces or even just a 4-piece, really, really strong. If you want to, you can put him in a 1-turn Stone Skin. He is obviously a very fast champ. You do want him to be going first as a bomb champ, so he should ideally be built on go first teams. And for that, you want to make sure he's fast and accurate in order to melt the opposing team's Stone Skin. But if you do want him under Stone Skin, I absolutely understand. No way to guarantee that you're going to be the fastest in a match. So having 1-turn Stone Skin paired up with 4 pieces of Pinpoint or 4 pieces of Feral or just straight up Perception. Again, anything you can get after that that's going to be boosting his speed and his accuracy is also going to be just as important in the arena. So now let's take a look at how I have my Kroz built. So as you can see, just from looking at the sets, this is a PvP-focused Kroz. We have a 4-piece Feral, 2-piece Perception, and then 2 pieces of Pinpoint in my accessories. For my individual pieces, we have an attack-based ring with an attack ascension. I'm still missing some ascension and some stats on here, as you'll see, so his stats definitely can still use some work. But these are the correct stats to aim for the ring, attack with attack. For the amulet, you want attack with attack ascension. For your banner, accuracy with accuracy is really good, and if you have enough accuracy, you can go attack with attack. For gloves, you want attack percentage with attack percentage. For chest, either accuracy or attack percentage with the corresponding ascension. And then for boots, speed with speed or attack percentage, depending on whether you're using him for PvE or for the arena. For my total stats on my Kroz as of right now, keep in mind only 1-star awakening on this guy. Cannot wait to get at least the 2-star because now it's going to help out his damage so much. We have 44k HP, 5.8k attack, 2.1k defense, 330 speed, and then 555 accuracy. Once I get him to a 5-star awakening, we're going to have somewhere between 6.5 and 7k attack. We're going to have some more accuracy, going to be looking with everything properly ascended closer to 650 to 700. So with those numbers, I'm going to feel much more comfortable. But as you'll see later in the video, with these numbers here, absolutely still does work in the arena. So when it comes to relics, there's a lot of good options for your Kroz for both PvE and the arena. Let's first talk about one important thing, and that is this gemstone right here, the Explosive Power Legendary Gemstone. Now, I know Legendary Gemstones are not the easiest to get your hands on, but if you happen to have these and you're not using them, and Kroz, for example, or whoever you're using as your best bomb champion has the ability to use them, absolutely do so. Having, in this case, 20% more damage flat on those bombs for both PvE and the arena is so powerful, more powerful than some of the effects on the relics themselves. So have that calculus in your head when you're going to be making the relic choices. If you see 2 circle gem slots and you have multiple of these explosive power legendary gemstones, absolutely prioritize using them. It can be the difference between leaving a team completely wiped or with 10 or 20% HP at the end of an arena round. Now, as you can see, I decided to go with the Hand of Uncreation for mine. It's got a nice effect for the arena. It's got accuracy as a primary stat, and of course, it's got those 2 gem slots for the explosive power gems. But let's take a look at some of the other really good options that exist out there, starting off with the arena. So if it were my choice, my number 1 choice for the arena, I would go with Wand of Submission. Again, chance to reflect polymorph, chance to reflect any of the other crowd control with speed and accuracy as substats. So powerful. Beyond that, anything that's going to be increasing my speed, my accuracy, or attack as a flat stat if you already feel like you have enough accuracy. Any of those are going to be good options. You can go even with something like a Gore Crescent. As you can see there, it's got 2 circle gem slots and attack as a primary. Very powerful. If you're looking at PvE, you're not going to need something like a Wand of Submission. In that case, I would go with something like an Arethi Coronet. This still gives you a circle gem slot, so it's good, and it also gives you really great stats with attack and accuracy, and it has the added bonus of giving you an unbelievably powerful effect, similar to Nature's Wrath, which is whenever you place enough debuffs, you're just going to get flat damage increase. So Arethi Coronet, a great option for PvE. Beyond that, anything budget like a Molten Death Bell even. Kroz is not going to get any benefit from the passive on it, but the accuracy on there is going to help you meet accuracy requirements. And again, with this champion, the most important thing is just stats. Just make him fast and accurate, and the rest will take care of itself. Now let's take a look at blessings for your Kroz the Wallbreaker. As you can see, for the arena, I decided to go with Polymorph. He has enough accuracy to land the sheep debuff even below 6-star, so you don't need to worry about that. Very powerful in the arena still today. Other options for you, Temporal Chains is a fine one. Intimidating Presence, you can obviously have him be your Intimidating Presence user in both arena and in PvE content. And then if you are building him with Stone Skin, I would recommend also putting him in Lightning Cage to double down on that and make sure that he's safe. Now, for PvE, you have a few additional options you can go for. You can go with Brimstone. He's going to have enough accuracy to land Smite. So if you need a Brimstone user, he's going to be a reliable one. You can also use Cruelty on him. He's got a triple hitter A1. He's got an AoE on his A3. So he can be the one Cruelty user for your team. You can obviously, of course, have multiple as well. And then I will say that if you're just looking to increase his damage, Nature's Wrath. For the same reason, Arethi Coronet is going to be good. Any debuff placer, this is just going to give him a flat damage increase, just make him stronger the longer that PvE encounter goes. And finally, let's take a look at Kroz's Masteries. So obviously I'm using mine for the arena, so we want as much accuracy as possible, so I went down and picked up Eagle Eye. If you're going to be using yours for PvE, then you can choose to not go all the way down the support tree and instead go into War Master down the offense tree. That's going to be another good option. Now, for secondary tree, I decided to go down the defense tree. A lot of players I know like to go with Tough Skin and Blast Proof as the initial two, but I really like having improved parry for the arena specifically. I think it's very powerful for survivability. After that, I just went down for more survivability and then went down to the 2 counterattack Masteries. These are going to be really powerful with his stunning and bomb detonation cooldown reducing A1. So I think that these are going to be a really great option as a secondary. But if you don't want to do that, you can go down the offense tree. You can get yourself Blade Discipline for more attack, more damage to shields with Shield Breaker, come down and pick up something like Whirlwind of Death for more speed, Wrath of the Slain, and then end off with something like a Kill Streak for more damage, the more champions that your Kroz takes out. For the Doom Tower Hard Showcase in today's video, we're going to be going into Doom Tower Hard on the 116th floor of the Dark Fae rotation. We are not going to be using that team. Instead, we are going to be using this team right here. We have our bias there to speed boost us. We've got Donnie there as a reset. We've got Ancora as a reviver. UDK to keep all the damage off in case we need it. And then, of course, we have Kroz to carry the damage for the team. Now, one thing to be aware of is that if you just let Kroz go on his own and you don't set any presets on him, he's not going to default to using his A2 before his A3. He's actually going to end up using his A3 first, so keep that in mind. So we're going to go ahead and speed boost here. Now I'm going to go ahead and use that place bombs A2. For some reason we have one that didn't go there. That's fine. Get through all of these abilities. There we go. Now we are back to our turn after getting all of that turn meter. Using that A3, blocking most of their abilities here, except for one that was a weak hit. And now let's see how much damage we're going to be doing. There we go. 52k per bomb. Very powerful. We're at the very top of Doom Tower here, so these are some very tanky waves. But we see even after the bombs have gone off, and Kroz is once again getting a turn here, all of them are currently locked out of their skills, so not much there for them to do. Let's go ahead and hit this champion here and auto-detonate and stun at the same time. Now let's go ahead and reset abilities. We have a Relentless proc. And here we go. Let's go ahead and put bombs out one more time. Got a once again full turn meter after placing that. All right. Here we go. This is what I was talking about. Let's go in with the A1. 3. Unfortunately, all weak hits there. That was... He does need to have a non-weak hit in order to reduce the cooldown of the bombs. Okay, here we go. Let's try to insta-detonate. It insta-detonated. It took him out. There we go. All right, here we go. Wave 2. Let's boost up. Let's go ahead and just use the A3 to start. This way, even though we didn't have the A2 up, we can block all the skills on the opposing team, which is still extremely helpful, just to keep them all controlled. Now we're going to reset using Donnie's A2. Here we go. We have a petrification out there from our bias. We're going to see how much damage that bomb debuff placed on there is going to be doing. Okay, boosting our speed. Let's get that A3 in there. Big hit. Detonated that one, 52k. All right, now let's see if I can't... We saw that 157,000 damage onto petrification there because of that triple damage onto petrified targets. Let's go ahead and just use this on this guy right here. Coming on to the last wave now. Speed boost. Let's place. Let's use that A3. Everybody's abilities are locked out. Cannot do anything to respond. Bombs are going off. Turn meter is boosting. All right, here we go. One more time placing it. All right, let's see if we can't get this reset of his passive. So here we go. A1 going in. This guy right here. Took him out using the A1. The bomb detonated. And so because of that, we got our passive from Bomb Breacher. Coming right back. Last hit. And there we go. 1.8 million damage from Kroz right there. He was our only damage dealer, so a little bit slow on this one. But we saw control coming in at all times because of that A3 ability lockout. Really, really powerful on any wave-based content, even the very top of Doom Tower. So for the first arena showcase in today's video, we're going to be going in against a team with Arbiter, Crixia, Sifi, and Narcissus. Team that I've chosen to build around Kroz features our bias, Sifi, and UDK. We've got two of my fastest boosters right here, and then we've got UDK to keep him alive, and we also have a revive going. So as mentioned previously, I'm not setting any presets on this, otherwise Kroz would be going in with his A3 and then going with his A2, so we're just going to manual this. So here we go. Let's see if we can't combo using that Bomb Breacher passive of his. Let's go ahead with the boost. One more boost. Now we're going in with his A2. We got bombs on everybody on the opposing side. Now we've got turn meter being reduced, but that's not a big deal. Let's go ahead and hopefully survive this. Okay, let's go and try to take out the Narcissus here. There we go. 52K, 52K, and here we go. That's exactly what I'm talking about. That's the combo. His own turn, didn't have to wait for the Narcissus to go in with that A2 and potentially take him out. You can just go and combo off with that 20% chance of activating an instant turn activated. So now let's go in against this Crixia. 87% chance, did not proc. Unfortunate. Nobody's able to survive the 52K per bomb damage, though. No worries, taking out the team with ease and showcasing that Bomb Breacher passive. Really fun to use them, especially if you can get those resets from that A1. For our second match, we're going to be going in against Arbiter, Ancora, Narcissus, and Mithrala. A little bit scary because that Mithrala could be built with a lot of resistance, or should be at least, and the Ancora does have a polymorph, although a low one. We'll see how this one works out. So we are significantly faster. Boost, boost. Let's go in now with the A2. Let's see. Okay, we got it on all except the Mithrala did resist one. Probably that resistance coming into play. All right, let's go in with that A3. Big hit. Counterattack from the Narcissus. And now here we go. 52,000 damage right there. Ancora getting absolutely deleted. Let's see how much damage. 52K. Gone, 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 gone. So nice to have a powerful bomb champion. If you missed out on Nishak back in the day, it is so nice to have a... There you saw it resisted. That was the stun that was resisted from the A1 by the Mithrala. But we have enough damage to take her out here. No problem. But if you did miss out on Nishak, who is one of the best bomb champions, if not the best legendary bomb champion in the game. And then we have Kroz coming in now into the fray, and he's absolutely going to be interesting. I can for sure see some teams maybe utilizing both of them in the arena going forward, but Kroz definitely not somebody to underestimate in the arena. Very, very powerful bomb champ. And for the final match in today's showcase, we're going to be going in against all 4 turtles. Now, since they've shown up in Raid, they are pretty much everywhere in the arena. Very powerful ally attack passive. And Leo has a passive where if the turtle falls below 50% from damage, he will go in with his A3 and pretty much wipe the opposing team. One of the best ways to counter them is by using bomb champions. Other ways include Marius or block damage. But in this case, we are going to see how effective Kroz is by countering all the turtles. So the first thing I want to do is I want to make sure that this Donatello doesn't cleanse. I can see he's got quite a bit of turn meter, which means he's pretty fast. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to sleep him. Now I'm going to boost my Kroz. I'm going to place the bombs, not breaking the sleep. Now I'm going to boost once again on my Kroz. Now we have the A3. We're going in. We hit. Donatello's gone. Mikey's up next. And all of them are about to fall. Here we go. Let's go ahead and use this. We're not worried about breaking Mikey. Raph's gone. We just need Leo. And there they go. Turtles are gone. No worries. No damage. No chance at counterattack. The one thing turtles are missing, crucially, is a speed aura. They're usually not built as a go first team. They're a go second team with that Leo passive. So if you have a go first bomb team, very effective and very easy way to counter them if you're having turtle problems. And there you have it, everybody. Kroz Wallbreaker, the bomb synergy champion with great lockout that can carry you through both the arena and wave-based content in PvE. If you liked today's video, please consider liking and subscribing for more content like this in the future. Let me know down in the comments below if there's any other showcases or guides that you'd like to see on my channel. Thank you for watching today's video. Thank you for your time. Have a great day, and I'll catch you in the next one.